Shalom, shalom. I hope you brothers and you few sisters can hear me. I haven't went live in a while, so I'm just gonna go live right now. And the topic today, or tonight rather, is going to be don't be an outward Israelite, be an inward one. Okay, and the scriptures speak about that, how a Jew is not one outwardly, but inward, meaning focus on the inward man, not the outward appearance. Because the outward appearance is vain. Okay? The outward appearance is vain and carnal. The inward man is a spiritual thing. All right? What you need to do is you need to cleanse your spirit. Yahweh Shai said that that you have to clean first the inside of the cup, and then you can focus on the outward. Right? You have to do things in order. When you clean a cup, you don't clean the outward first and then the inward. You clean the inward first, because that's where, first of all, that's where it's most dirty. It's most dirty inwardly, right? And secondly, that's what's more important, because that's where the liquid is going to go that you're going to drink. It's going to go inside. So that is the most important, to be cleaned. So, that's to show you the mindset that you're supposed to have in this truth, is dealing with those particular personality flaws that you have and mindset flaws that you have, and take them seriously. Don't act like, oh, it's okay, I'm covered by the blood. No, you should be in the mindset of actively improving yourself. Okay? Because the scriptures do say that the elect shall shine greater and greater until that perfect day. Meaning that they're going to be growing. They're not going to be in the same level. Okay? They're going to constantly be growing. So that growth is an inward growth. It's dealing with your the inside of you, the fruits of the spirit. This is what you need to focus on, man. A lot of these Israelites, they like to have an outward show of being an Israelite. They like the garments, the fancy garments. They like the head wraps. They like the beards on their face. So on and so forth. They love to proclaim that they're Israelites, but they don't behave like Israelites. Okay? They don't behave like the Israel of the Most High. Okay? Being an Israelite is more than just wearing fringes. It's a mindset, right? What does the name Israel mean? Yasher Allah, he is a prince of God. If you're a prince, right, that means you're practicing to be the king. And if you're practicing to be the king, you have to have a kingly mindset, right? And that also comes with morality. That comes with morality, along with a rulership mentality. So these are the things that you have to develop. Okay? You have to develop that, because we're coming from being slaves. We're coming from having a slave mentality, a low-level mentality, insecure, low self-esteem mentality. That's what this society breeds for Jake. And you women, you had the mentality of being whores, jumping from man to man, trying to gain power over your man. That's all fleshly. Try to make him bend to your will. That's all fleshly things. Okay? So when we come into this truth, we're supposed to think differently. It says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So your mind is supposed to be renewed and changed. Your thought process is supposed to change. Okay, your emotional strength is supposed to increase. Your spiritual strength is supposed to increase. You're supposed to be less reactive as we get further and further into in this walk. All right, because you're being changed to the image of Yahweh Shai and not your own image and not the image of the people in the world. Not what they say a high value man is. Not what they say a morality is. Okay? Or being a man is. No, it's not about what the world says, because the world has no clue. The world is lost. We have to look at what Yahweh Shai left as an example. First and foremost, Yahweh Shai. And then we can look to the prophets of old, the righteous men of old, and the example they left, you see, of how to be men, of how to put integrity over money, to put the Lord before everything, to put Yahweh before everything, Yahweh Shai before everything in this time. That's why it said, he that hateth not father, mother, brother, so on and so forth, and yea, even his own life also is not worthy to be my disciple. Because you have to put all those things in the back burner when it comes to the Lord. And a lot of people are not willing to do that. They're not willing to sacrifice their life for Yahweh Shai. That's why when Satan comes and he attacks certain points of their life, they fall out. They're no longer able to bear the tribulation. Like the seed that was sown in stony places. Okay? They were not able to bear the affliction. Okay? Because they did not put Yahweh Shai first in their heart. Okay? They didn't say they were going to ride with Yahweh Shai no matter what. That wasn't their spirit. That has to be your mindset. Okay? And then you have to endure. Then you have to change. Okay? The Lord, you have that mindset, that's good. But then now when you're going through these tribulations, there's a lesson within these tribulations to upgrade you. Are you going to take heed to these tribulations, or are you going to go in circles in the wilderness forever? You see? You have to be able to grow. Right? If we're being likened unto seeds, then that means we're expected to grow. Point blank, period, man. So, if you're on the same level you were in last year, that's not a good sign. That's not good at all. I'm constantly growing. I'm going to speak to myself. I'm constantly in growth mode, constantly, all the time. I don't even think the same. I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably talk over the head, over my own head last year. I'll talk over my own head last year, okay? Because I'm so much in growth mode. I've grown so much since last year. You know what I'm saying? So that's what being an inward Israelite is about. You know, obedience. But obedience also comes with trust and faith. So you have to have that faith too. Okay? You know, first of all, in order for you to endure the tribulation, you need to have faith. Okay? And then the trust, right? And the faith will also breed obedience because you trust in the process. You know what I'm saying? So those are some things to consider if you're on the right track, man. See? And read about the fruits of the spirit and see how you measure up, man. You know, see where you need work and work on those areas, man. All right. So I don't have to keep going too long, man. I just want to make a quick lesson in the spirit. You know, put something on wax. Lord willing, this was well received. I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Hakwadash, the blessings to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Shalom.